Hi, my name is Kalisha Felice, and I'm going to be talking about the interview process between a client and a social worker and how it can be effective or ineffective in some ways. I'm going to start by naming some behaviors that a social worker can do that can make a client feel like the interview is impersonal or they can feel unimportant. And some of those things a social worker can do wrong are convey little emotion throughout the interview, or little body language, little responses, or a lack of response as far as facial expressions, or a lack of eye contact. Remaining silent throughout the interview doesn't really let the client know that you're listening or that you're even comprehending what it is they're saying. Avoiding issues that they feel very strongly about. Also, social workers can have the tendency to respond in a judgmental tone or ask questions in an accusatory manner that will make them feel like they're being judged or they're being interrogated. And that, I think, can cause the client to automatically shut down or lose trust in the process or in the conversation, and then they become closed off, and then then the interview is no longer effective and it's no longer accomplishing anything. So some of the ways social workers or myself could change that, or things you can do to make the process better, is to give that client eye contact, give them emotion in my responses, emotion in my face, nod my head, look at them directly, say phrases such as "I see" or "uh-huh," or just little phrases that let them know I'm listening, I'm here for you, what you're saying is important, and I want to know what's going on with you. Paraphrasing, reciting back to the client what I believe they're saying to me, or the message I believe they're trying to convey to me, to make sure that I'm getting what they want me to get out of it, and I have the right emotions or the right underlying issues correctly. So as far as my philosophy goes with clients' rights, I believe absolutely, like all social workers should believe, that they have the right to know their rights and to be well informed. I think at the beginning of an interview or a counseling session, they need to be informed, but in a way that's understandable to them. Many of the clients are not going to have a high education level, so that means speaking to them in terms that they're going to understand and not using a lot of legal or technical jargon, making it as easy as possible, or for lack of better words, in layman's terms, to where they can understand it and they're not going to feel confused or walk away not knowing what I was trying to convey to them. I think it's important to relay confidentiality and let the clients know that they have a right to privacy. And I'm here to help. I'm not here to tell on them. I'm not here to discuss their personal information with anybody else, except only in the event that someone's life is threatened, if their own life is threatened, if they're kids or they threaten to harm another one. Then it's my job and my duty to warn someone or to do what I can to protect a life. Otherwise, if the case goes to court, then it would be important if the records are subpoenaed for me to hand those over. So in that case, in a hearing, some of the information might be disclosed. But I do believe it's important for them to know and have full awareness of what their rights are and what their options are. So 3 to 5 effective words that can be used in the midst of an interview would be things such as powerless or uncertain, resentful. I believe it's good to identify, the how the client is feeling, where they're coming from. You know, I'm sure they can feel powerless if they're being forced by law enforcement or by the courts, or resentful for the position they've been put in. It may be that they made a mistake, that they had an issue such as poverty or oppression or lack of education that has placed them here. You know, it's good, I think, to identify what emotions or negative feelings they might be feeling, just so they know where they're coming from and they have a starting point where they can go towards. So after discussing the negative aspects, I think it's good to turn it around by discussing what is positive in the client's life, or what are their strengths. Highlight those strengths. Everyone has a strength, and they just need to name it. You know, so words such as determined or in charge or capable, letting them know they can be in charge of their lives. They are capable of changing and turning things around. You know, it's going to require a kind of determination to change things around and change their circumstances, but these are things that they're completely capable of. It gives them a sense of empowerment to know that they do have that power to turn things around in their lives, and you know, now is the time to take charge and go out and make those changes to better their lives and better their situation for themselves and for their families. So that's all the things I think that are good and making a interview effective, and how a social worker can turn an interview around from being ineffective.